Thanks. And wow, yesterday was fiery and fun. I hope today is also fiery and fun. I enjoyed it. Let's go! You guys ready? You have that filming?
Yeah, I got it. It's on.
Okay, go.
Right. Yesterday, we had prefacing and crossfire. In the interest of time, we cannot do that today. I will shut it down if I see it. First, I will reread the DAPA overturn bill. Be it enacted by the Student Congress here assembled that the Countering Foreign Disinformation and Propaganda Act will be declared null and void. The CFDAPA is an act which allows the government to deem online and offline publishments as foreign disinformation and or propaganda and remove those publishments from public view. Online and offline publishments are any writings that have been published on the internet or any written source. Foreign disinformation and or propaganda is a term used to describe false facts or statements used to advance foreign agendas against the United States. Removing from public view would involve the removal of anything deemed to be foreign disinformation and or propaganda so as the public could not under any circumstance view the writing. The bill will be enacted immediately upon its passing. The United States Congress will oversee the implementation of this legislation, and all laws in conflict with this bill shall be declared null and void. Our first speaker is Senator Martin.
As of September 15, 2016, 41 U.S. citizens were known to be affiliated with ISIS. Inarguably, these 41 people are only a minority. However, the Americans who freely choose to blatantly disregard the lies of foreign agendas are helping groups that wish to harm others. Harming others under the guise of lies is, at its core, an unconstitutional act. These 41 people undoubtedly believed in causing harm to others and certainly believed in ISIS, despite the overwhelming proof the public has that ISIS is a terrorist group that does not spread the real ideas of the Quran. The idea that Muslims should concentrate on perpetrating acts of violence against non-Muslims is the kind of disinformation that ISIS spreads through propaganda. And this is only ISIS. 400 others were influenced by neo-Nazi propaganda in 2008 alone from only one group within our country, the National Socialist Movement. Most groups spreading propaganda are spreading harmful ideals and beliefs and opinions which want to limit the freedom of other groups. Supporting groups that actively try to use lies and fear-mongering to create an atmosphere of hostility towards anyone is a belief which in itself is unconstitutional. Yet Representative Wilt has stated that people believe this bill is more in violation of our constitutional right to read hostile foreign agendas than believe in them. My point is not to say that the American public is uneducated and incapable of making their own decisions. But when these decisions infringe upon other groups' existence, the right to have your own decisions should not be. And this is why, to preserve the well-being of people everywhere, it is dangerous and unnecessary to show unexplained propaganda to the general public. This is why, Senators, I urge you to vote in the negation on this bill. And I give the rest of my time to question.
All questioners, please rise. Senator Summerlin.
I'd just like to clarify, when you were speaking, you talked about these opinions and ideologies that were brainwashing people. Do you believe the opinions that you might not agree with, do you believe that people sharing their opinions is propaganda and ought to be censored?
No, and I did not say brainwashing at all, but rather these people are exercising their free rights as Americans to believe what they want. However, this does infringe upon other people's rights to exist because they often are saying so-and-so should not have the right to go to school or something like that.
Senator Wilt.
Are you saying that it is constitutional to take away people's right to join societies like ISIS even if we don't necessarily agree with their ideals?
I'm not saying it's unconstitutional because we do have that right, but I am saying it's at its core un-American because we should not be oppressors of any people under our Constitution, which gives rights to all people.
Senator Wilt. Please be seated. Seeing as there's no more questioners, you may be seated. Next up, we have Senator Blaney.
Good morning and welcome. Earlier in this debate, a New York Times reporter mentioned one of Ben Franklin's most famous quotes, and it bears repeating, so I'm going to repeat it. Those who surrender freedom for security will not have, nor do they deserve, either one. Jefferson's statements explain why I've decided to stand here today in affirmation of this bill. First of all, we need to know what the National Countering Foreign Disinformation and Propaganda Act, or the Propaganda Bill, was actually designed for. This bill was, quote, designed to help American allies counter foreign government propagandas from Russia, China, and other nations, according to our U.S. Senators Rob Portman and Chris Murphy. Countering foreign propaganda can be an important activity. North Korea, Russia, and even China, in the past, have attempted to harm our great nation with unfair statements and even outright lies. And I'm sure Senators Portman and Murphy have their hearts in the right place. But once we take a deeper look into what the bill actually says, we see that it violates our privacy in ways that are totally unacceptable. The bill establishes the Global Engagement Center, which simplified just states that this bill gives the government the authorization to collect, store, and disseminate the records of anyone that's considered to be spreading propaganda and disinformation, according to page 547 of this bill. That is not all this bill also gives to the Global Engagement Center. It gives the power to give grants to domestic entities, which according to this bill can be used, quote, to collect and store examples in print, online, and social media, disinformation, misinformation, and propaganda directed at the United States and its allies and partners. So with this bill, not only can the Global Engagement Center get a hold of our information, but they can pay any American media company to do it for them. And the sad part is, we don't get a hand in deciding what is and what is not propaganda and or disinformation. The government does, as Mr. Summerlin stated earlier in this testimony. But it does not stop there, because with this bill, the government has the power to, quote, use disinformation, misinformation, and propaganda to influence the policies and social and political stability of the United States and the United States allies and partner nations. Obviously, this bill does what Representative Wiltz says it would do. So the question lies, do we really want to keep this bill? Clearly, our founding fathers would argue that we would not. Thank you. Leave the rest of my time for questioning.
All questioners, please rise. Senator Summerlin.
Just to clarify, 'cause there's been some disagreement among testimonies and senators. You have evidence that the GEC does collect and censor from public view information that they think is propaganda.
I'm not prepared to answer that question.
Thank you.
Senator Wilt.
So what you are saying is that the actual bill says that things like Representative Summerlin mentioned could happen and does happen.
Yes.
Seeing as there's no more questions, you may be seated. That is our last senatorial speech on this bill, so it's time to vote. All in favor of the bill to overturn the Counter Foreign Disinformation and Propaganda Act, please rise.
Tam, you ready? Break on sound. Yeah.
All opposed? All those who do not wish to affirm or negate,
Abstaining.
abstain. I guess there's another head count in the first place.
That's a,
But he does want another A. Yeah. So, just A, B?
Oh, no, I was just ready. I was
It's fine.
explaining to crawl.
We're good. Okay.
It does not pass.